Mars, you think that Leonard has been playing at a top 5 level this year? And when I think about top 5, I'm thinking, damn, like so, Luka, Jaylen Brown, yes, Jaylen Brown.
You're not gonna convince me that Jaylen Brown's been better than Kawhi. Like, you can say his
this season.
You're not gonna. Yeah, I don't care. You're not gonna convince me.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you're not going to convince me that Jaylen Brown's.
I think at this point Jaylen Brown's having
the most overrated season. Like shout out to Jaylen Brown, like well deserved.
That's overrated.
It is.
Here's the reason why it's not overrated.
Respectfully, Celtics fans.
The reason why it's not overrated. The reason why it's not overrated is because the expectations of the Boston Celtics.
It's not about expectations about how you're playing, and he's
right and how he's been playing this season.
Well, though he's not playing better than
Kawhi. He ain't playing better than Kawhi.
He's not playing better than Kawhi.
That was the prompt. The prompt was playing better.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about.
I don't care. Like Jaylen Brown, well-deserved All-Star star. Congratulations, having a great season.
Sure,
best season of his career. Yes. He ain't been playing better than Kawhi to me. You're not going to convince me.
He's not playing.
So I'm not going to engage in the debate because I don't care to have that debate. Kawhi's just.
But Marge though, Swiper just moved the goalpost and he said he's having one of the most overrated seasons.
In that
so when you say better than Kawhi, that does mean overrated.
Okay.
Because you're rating him above Kawhi. Therefore,
if you're using that as your basis, okay. But outside of that, nothing that Jaylen Brown is doing is overrated.
We're not going to have a good conversation about this. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say several names, and we're going to disagree about this. So
you can do that. You could do that. My only thing is for them to be winning and him to be the alpha dog over there.
They have a very, very, very good team, and Derek White is having another great season this year.
You didn't know that.
They have a very, very, very good team.
There's multiple.
Very, very, very good.
I'm allowed to speak on my own without people interrupting.
You are allowed to speak. We're allowed
that Jaylen Brown is having a really good season. He's having an all-NBA season. But yes, the Celtics are doing very well with and without Jaylen Brown in the lineup. They're doing very well. On and off.
How many games did Jaylen Brown miss?
No, not about miss. Not about miss. Not about miss. Not about miss.
Well, no,
they're doing. The Celtics are thriving.
Boston have played 14.
They're not thriving without Jaylen Brown. They got throttled the other night without Jaylen Brown.
No, that's not. No.
Throttled.
He's talking about off-on numbers.
Yeah, the on-off numbers. Yes, like they're doing very well this year.
Makes me nuts, right? But that you do that because we need him to win.
No, you can be upset.
They played. They played.
That's fine.
They're 3-1 without Jaylen Brown. So I mean.
And so some of this is as simple as this. Jaylen Brown is a very emotionally charged player in this space, and so I think that there's legitimate reason to like Jaylen Brown. He's having a really good season.
They beat Sacramento.
If you're going to compare him to other players,
I'm not saying that's the be everyone. I'm saying they got throttled without Jaylen Brown isn't even true. They lost by 2 in the one loss they had. So I don't know what game Ron is talking about. The one they lost by 2.
They beat Sacramento. Who the other two?
They beat Sacramento. They beat Toronto, and they beat Washington. So once again, it's not 3. Yeah, it's not 3 big things. I'm not saying that. But Ron said, "Oh, they just got throttled without Jaylen Brown."
Who'd they lose to?
They lost to the Pacers by 2 points.
Another worse
down in that game.
Yeah,
pretty sure they were down in that game.
We beat Sacramento, Washington, and Indiana.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's proof that Jaylen Brown don't mean nothing. I'm saying that they definitely never got throttled in the game that Jaylen Brown missed.
I think a lot of people that are.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
As you were saying, Swiper.
I think a lot of people that are again very charged about the JB thing. I think JB's having a very good season, but we had this conversation last week. I don't think he's been better than at least 6 or 7 or 8 players in the league this season, but just fine. I think that Kawhi's having a better year than him. I think that if the Eastern Conference and Western Conference did not have conferences, then I think the West starters would probably be all the starters. So it's not. I'm not trying to like say that JB's been bad, but it's just Kawhi has clearly been better. He's been underrated this whole season. We've had conversations about Kawhi multiple times this year, having his best scoring season that he's had. He's playing very good defense. The passing is never going to be great because it's Kawhi. He can't pass, but neither can JB. But he's been phenomenal this season. Like he's having a great all-around season.
Swiper, it sounds to me like you're saying
they're 17-4 in the last 21 games. He's been the biggest reason why. Shout out to James Harden for playing well, but it's been Kawhi. Like, I mean, it's just
two things. So two things, Swiper. Number one, I understand 50, that you 40, think that he's just a better. 92. I think you think he's a better player than.
No, he's having a better season.
Okay, I can get with that part. But Mars, my issue is like they're 3-1 with Jaylen Brown out of the lineup, but he'll play 11 games, miss a game. He'll play 10 games, miss a game. It's not like they're rolling with him out of the lineup where he misses 4 or 5 consecutive games like what was going on in Denver when Joker was out of the lineup. That's not going on in Boston. Like he'll miss a game, then he'll play 11, 12 games.
Available. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. He's more
so
available.
I have a difficult time with that kind of logic off the strength that he's in the lineup more than he's out of the lineup. On top of that, the on and off stuff is what really blows my mind, because we need our guys in order to win, right? So we need Joker, we need SGA, we need Jaylen Brown in order to win games. So if we need these guys in order to win games, I ain't tripping on the dude being off the floor for 5 minutes and what they doing when he's off the floor for 6 minutes. I'm not tripping off that. What I am tripping off of is, what is he doing when he's on the floor? What are they doing when he's on the floor? I can tell you what they are doing. They are winning when he's in the lineup. That is a fact.
Yeah, they're almost. He's
off the floor.
They're almost as good. Yeah, you're right. I agree. They're almost as good. They're almost as good as the Clippers when Kawhi Leonard is playing. I agree. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is having a phenomenal season. He's lost in like
the Clippers
LA.
have a better roster than the Celtics right now. You do know that, right? You can put your hand all in your head.
You fight that, Swiper?
It's a fact. There is no player
in terms of talent
Jaylen Brown has over there as good as James Harden. Not a one. Their center. Who do you want? Luka Garza or Kata or Zubac?
To be fair, this year's Zoo, I don't even know if you want to have that conversation. This year's Zoo been stinky. Oh my god!
Brook Lopez is playing a little better than we.
Shout out to Ty Lue. Did the unthinkable. He went big yesterday. Played Zoo and Brook Lopez together. Shout out to him. Yeah, shout out to him.
Because he got to stretch big. He's
a changed man. Shout out to Ty Lue, man. Doing things I never thought I would have seen. But the on-off data doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I just think Kawhi's been better. That's kind of it.
Yeah, Kawhi's been better than Jaylen Brown. And I went to bat for Jaylen Brown in the Kevin Durant segment. I still believe that he's been just as good as Kevin Durant this year, but I can't go. Kawhi's been better than both of them. So I'm not going that far.
And I agree. I do think Kawhi's been the best of the three.
And don't misunderstand me. I do think Leonard is a better player than him. I'm not going to argue that point. I just did not imagine what I'm getting from Jaylen Brown this season. I did not imagine that. We're looking at almost 30-7 and 5 on pretty good efficiency, right? And arguably in all league, he's playing defense at a pretty high level. So with that being
who's been playing bad defense, Kawhi or Jaylen Brown?
I think Leonard plays in better stretches. Yes. I think that Jaylen Brown plays. I think he plays longer. I think that in stretches, I think Leonard has been better.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. Yeah, this that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.